Not only did they think it was heresy or wrong to worship these idols, the other part of it is it was a way for them to show the Catholics that we're done with what you're doing to us. If you want to push us around, we'll destroy your stuff, basically. So it's a little bit of both. It's not just about, oh, these people are bad, so we got to take away this. The Duke of Alba invited William and two other leaders of the Netherlands to come and talk to him about his plans to restore peace. The two friends went, but William, suddenly uneasy, decided to take a trip to his family's lands in Germany instead. When the two leaders arrived, the Duke of Alba arrested them and had them beheaded. And as I say, this is a period, um, especially the stuff being led by the Duke of Alba is very, very, very heavy-handed, we'll say. He ordered William's lands in the Netherlands to be confiscated. William was now an enemy of the crown. For the next 10 years, the people of the Netherlands fought against the Spanish soldiers occupying their country. The Duke executed over 1,000 people, some simply because they were Protestant. He gave his soldiers permission to burn down towns and kill their inhabitants, and it was overwhelmingly very, very, very um, kind of horrible massacre that goes on in this time during the Dutch Revolt. This kind of thing, once again, it's not the first time that this sort of behavior has happened. The As I say, this kind of fighting actually did even happen longer before, whenever the Catholic Church, the East Orthodox Church, separated. But this tends to get very, very violent. We're going to see this same kind of stuff where people are fighting each other, not only big armies of that are owned by kings and lords and dukes, but also just people in cities fighting with each other over religion. It becomes very, very, very violent. It becomes very tumultuous during this time to live, even in England, especially because there's a consistent underlining force of Catholics that are trying to get back in power. Because anytime Protestantism becomes the main religion somewhere, there's usually a group that wants to make Catholicism the main religion again. We are going to see some of what happens when that goes on, but not yet. Um, and of course, we can see this is very much as a genocide that's going on here. They're trying to eradicate a specific kind of religion. Over in Germany, William raised an army and tried to march back into his own country. The war went on and on. Two of William's brothers were killed in the fighting, but William and the beggars, meaning the rebels, right now they've taken on that title of the beggars. These aren't actually a an army of beggars. They are calling them this because it's a kind of like insult, like, oh, you want to call us beggars? Yeah, we'll take that name and we'll show you what it is to be beggars, is what it is. This is what they're doing with this name. The beggars broke dikes, flooded the countryside, and sailed into the cities besieged by Spanish soldiers. So this is just kind of crazy. They're sailing in areas where normally there is land. Turning land battles into sea battles. Finally, 7 provinces in the north of the Netherlands announced their independence from Spain and made William the Silent their new king. Philip was furious. He ordered a large sum of money to anyone who could assassinate his one-time friend. A young man named Balthasar Gerald volunteered to carry out this terrible task. He traveled to William's court pretending to be a Protestant whose family had been executed in the war. William welcomed him and gave him some small tasks to do around the court. One evening, Balthasar wrapped himself in a long, dark cloak and hid just outside William's dining room. After William was finished eating, he rose and strolled out the room. Balthasar sprang from the shadow, fired his pistol, and "Oh my God, have mercy on my poor people," exclaimed William, and collapsed. The great champion of the Netherlands was dead just a few moments later. So this kind of interesting thing about this part of history. Just let me get the photo of it. Um, one moment, sorry everybody. So to this day, the bullet holes in the wall that William was shot at are still there in a kind of framed section. So let's see here. So if we see here, these are the shots, actually, the holes in the wall where William the Silent was assassinated. So, of course, to the people of the Netherlands in Holland today, William the Silent is really a hero of the people. If you can see, so there's all these seven little we should say provinces, so to say. They're declaring independence from Spain. Spain is the most powerful um, empire in the world at this time. This is big, big, big deal for them. William, of course, is on their side. He is working for the people. Most people want to become Protestant in the Netherlands. It's not like they're being forced to. And it really does make sense if we think about the time that we're living, that they were living in. Things are starting to become a little bit more educated. The Renaissance has happened, or it is still happening in places. People are becoming literate again. People are learning how to read more often, just like it was in Roman times, ancient Roman times, I should say. Um, so it's kind of natural that people wanted a religion that was a little bit more for them. It was a little bit more like what they wanted to believe and what they wanted to see God like, rather than have a big group of, to them, a big group of tyrants telling them what is right and what is wrong to do in their religion. Um, it makes sense that much of the people did want to embrace Protestantism as their new religion. So let's move back over to the other thing. I just figured that would be kind of cool for you guys to see that is still in existence. So yeah, as I say, very much a national hero, William the Silent, for the people of the Netherlands and their interests. Because, well, let's just go back over to our big map. Spain is down here, right? This is Spain proper, and the Netherlands is up here. So for these people, they're being ruled by a group of people that are way down somewhere else. And this is a story as old as time. This kind of things happens, very much like, um, as I said with India. India was um, owned by the Mughal Empire, so a Muslim group. Eventually, it gets taken over by England, actually. So the people from this small island take over India. Naturally, eventually, India wanted independence and in the 1940s would get. So let's move ourselves back down. Oops, that's too far. We're not quite there yet. All right, so one thing that is, I should say, make note about Balthazar as an assassin. Usually to the people of the Netherlands, he's kind of, what would we say, characterized as a coward and a liar, right? And in ways he is. Right, he's being very sneaky and deceitful in order to get his opportunity to assassinate William. So it's kind of tragedy, really. Okay, so his country remained independent. Today, we call this country Holland, and the people who live there Dutch. This is a couple of years older, so Queen Beatrix is no longer queen in Holland. Queen Beatrix, who rules Holland today, as I say, she's recently stepped down because of her age, is William's great, 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 great granddaughter. So, yes, some places in Europe do still have monarchies. In modern times, the Netherlands, just like England, is a constitutional monarchy. So it's not exactly like this old-fashioned monarchy like we think. Um, yeah, so let's take some time and we're going to reorient. Let's actually look at the map again, just so we can visualize what we're talking about next. So we're going to be going from the Netherlands is here. We're going back over on to our fancy little island of England and Scotland. Just as a for those of you who aren't maybe familiar with this geography of this area, the northern part of this island here, this is Scotland up north. So it's actually the same island. Um, Over here, right, this island that's kind of detached off there, this is Ireland, just so we know. Um, so we may or may not know this. Today, Ireland is still a very Catholic country. So that's something to be aware here. Scotland is not a very Catholic country in modern days. So we're going to see a little bit of why that is. Um, so we're going to now, we've been talking about the Spanish monarchy a bunch. That monarchy is their family name is the Habsburgs, is their family crest would be under the Habsburgs. Now we're going to be talking about the Tudor dynasty over in England. So the Tudor dynasty, it contains probably the most famous or notorious, infamous king of England, which is King Henry VIII. And we're going to be talking about him a little bit. But particularly, we're going to be focusing this time on Mary Queen of Scots. All right, so Holland wasn't the only country where Catholics and Protestants disagreed. Catholics and Protestants were fighting with each other all through Philip II's kingdom, all through the Holy Roman Empire, and even over in Scotland. Today, England and Scotland are part of the same country, the United Kingdom or Great Britain. Now, this is a little bit of modern history. There's still contention over this in modern times, actually. There's a sizable group of people in Scotland that do not want to be a part of the United Kingdom anymore. Um, and if we go back in time a little bit further before that, Ireland had the exact same thing. They didn't want to be part of the United Kingdom. We may know a little bit about that. So yes, but as it stands still, they are still part of the same country.